Welcome to Tea Time, the South Yorkshire Kill Team podcast. Grab a brew, lock in your tack ops, and let's talk Kill Team. Hello, tea drinkers, and welcome to the South Yorkshire Kill Team community podcast. I'm your host, Johnny. I'm not here today with my partner in crime, Declan. I don't actually know why Declan's not around. I think Declan's he's gone on holiday because he's burnt out from all the events he's been going to. But I am joined here by one of the most requested people on the channel and in our community. You may know him as the Claw. It is Mr. Thomas Shaw. That rhymes.
Please don't call me that.
I do like as well, just for anyone listening, Tom is part of our community at South Yorkshire Kill Team, one of the almost founding members, and the fact that he's got all these lovely nicknames coming out. The Claw is fantastic, and then what was the other one that you keep on getting called? Is it Batlord? I bet you're pleased. But I am joined today with Tom from South Yorkshire Kill Team from our community. This podcast this episode is going to be a little bit more talking about Tom and how Tom's been getting on with events recently. Talk about some of the events that was been happening around the community since the end of July. I think the last podcast episode we were talking about the John Invitational, which was for my birthday, and then since then we've moved on to one or two other events. We're in the middle of it as well. In the middle of August, we have some more events coming up. So we are at the time right now where we're kind of bang on in the middle of everything at the end of the season as well. So everyone's just kind of rushing about. So yeah, looking forward to it. So first question, I guess, to move this on, is Tom. How did you get into Kill Team? That's usually the first thing we ask in this type of thing, I think.
Oh boy. I've been into 40k since I was 11. So how old am I now? 26 years.
Yeah.
So a fairly long time. Dipped in and out of playing the actual tabletop itself. Never fell out of love with the hobby and the book side of things.
Yeah.
And then got back into big 40k in 10th. Went to LGT for big 40k alongside about 900 other players.
Yeah,
in the big bullpen down at LGT.
Yeah.
And my younger brother went to the Kill Team at LGT, and he just seemed to have so much more fun at the Kill Team than I did down in the big bullpen at 40k.
Yeah.
So then I got my first Kill Team just after that, which was Jaegers, and that was roughly just around about the time that editions were changing as well, from 2nd to 3rd.
Yeah.
So I've been into Kill Team now for about 12 months, I think. Maybe a bit shyer than 12 months. And I went to my first event after LGT and got the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
And I've just been trying to improve since then.
Oh, very good. It seems to be like a common trait when we were speaking to Jason and a few others. People seem to get into it via 40k, and they seem to take this massive break in the middle. I did the same from like 4th edition 40k, and then came back just before COVID. Did you do the same kind of concept where you kind of were into it and then dipped out, and then kind of for some reason come back to it? Is that how that worked with you?
For me, it was more just I had less time available. I was working nights for the longest time, which doesn't help with keeping a social life. And it was quite expensive at the time, saving up for like a mortgage and things like that. Big 40k is not a cheap hobby to get into.
I agree. Yeah.
And then it was. I suppose it was after COVID when we came out of COVID, and obviously I know a lot of people got into it during COVID because everyone had a lot more free time.
Yeah.
But for me, it was a big job change, which freed up which gave me a lot more free time. Free time, weekends off. So then that's when I started to look at getting back into the hobby.
Yeah, it's a common trait, isn't it? As we get older and stuff, you obviously have more responsibilities, but you start to gain more time in certain ways due to different bits. Work's usually a big one as well, kids and whatnot. So yeah, it is quite a common stereotyping it in one way, which is cool. But you were saying obviously you and your brother, because obviously for anyone who don't know, Jack is also part of our community. Jack's really big into the hobby and does a lot of kit bashings. Go follow JTrain on Instagram. Shout out. But you two play you have played quite a bit in the past, haven't you? It's kind of Jack's kind of like your punching bag in a way, or vice versa, depending on where he goes.
Vice versa, probably. When I was learning to play, he was maining Inquisition when Inquisition were. I was probably more cracked than Inquisition is now.
Yeah.
So that was how I learned. Was just getting beaten up by Inquisition week after week.
But by your older brother.
Yeah, that'll wind him up. Yeah,
I know, I definitely will. Yeah, no, it is kind of trial by fire, though, isn't it? In some ways, me personally, as well as I play, I learn from doing, and usually means by getting beaten, and then kind of pick up pace after you've lost 400 times to the different teams. You start to pick things up and stuff. So I guess the question is, obviously, at the moment now you've established yourself as one of the more prominent members in the Kill Team community. I know loads of different people will approach you and call you out, and I know you were getting shout outs on different podcasts and all sorts of stuff. You got obviously with your Claw, as the name goes. How did you get into Claw? I mean, I kind of know this story, but if you want to tell everyone else, how did you get into Claw?
So it's probably more how I got into Elites. Really the thing for this edition, because I remember the first tournament I went to, which was, I believe, the last tournament of second edition, and I went to it again. Got wooden spoon, got absolutely trashed all day long. Really enjoyed it though. And after every game, you're chatting to your opponent, and you're like, oh, what do you think I could have done better? And, I went into it telling them that this is my first tournament. These are basically the first games of Kill Team I've played outside of playing my brother.
Yeah.
And the main feedback I got all day was, you should try Elite. And what I was told is it was because I was trying to do a lot with, like, a couple of miniatures on my team, because I started off on Jaegers.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, yeah, when you're using your resource points and you've got your guys going up to 3 APL, you really seem to enjoy that.
Yeah.
But you don't seem to enjoy, like, being hamstrung with 2 APL. So I was like, okay, then. Then I remember looking through all the teams as we were moving from second to third edition. And I really liked the look of Legionaries, which Legionaries were absolutely cracked at the start of third edition, which is probably what drew me to them. So I really enjoyed them. Then they started to get more nerfs, and there's always the kind of, I'm playing a broken team, so it doesn't really feel like I'm doing anything with them. Doesn't really feel like I'm achieving anything with the team if I win, because I'm kind of being carried by it.
Yeah, makes sense. That's a stigma that shouldn't exist, but does exist.
Yeah. So then I moved on to Wreckers, which was when I started to find some real success, but then I think Wreckers aren't reliable enough, I don't think, in a tournament format, and I want to start getting into more tournaments. So I was looking for another team, and I saw Nemesis Claw, and I love the models, love the base models of the team. I think the rules are really fun, and it was one of the teams I was looking at anyway, because in that first tournament, one of the teams that I played against was a Nemesis Claw team, and I remember looking at the rules as I was playing into them. I was like, this seems really cool. Obviously, there's been changes between the editions, but the same thematic stuff is still there. And so once I got my Nemesis Claw, I just started playing them, and then I've just kind of refined my play style to what it is now, which is
You say this because I know there's I was listening to Turning Point and Ryan's podcast, and Ryan were talking the other day about the way you play. You play, I think, what do you refer to as a hugger? You like hugging people, like you hug people and stuff. Explain that. Go through the process, because I know obviously in other Discords and whatnot they talk about the most optimal way to play Nemesis Claw, but you seem to develop your own style and your own play style with it.
So it's been dubbed Hug Claw by a lot of people now, and in essence, the way it plays, and it only plays into a select few teams. There's certain teams that you can't play into at all, because it relies on a piece of equipment for Nemesis Claw, which is chain snares.
Yeah.
Which is if you've got a lower wound stat than a Nemesis Claw operative, so if you've got less than 14 wounds, which is basically everything outside of elites or raveners,
Yep.
or Gallophox, or Ogrins. There's actually a fair few operatives that are not affected by it, but it's by the by.
Yeah.
Then if you want to try and fall back out of combat with me, I have to roll 2 dice. If I get over a 4 on either of those dice, you can't fall back. And then you're basically stuck there. So the idea behind that is you wait for your opponent to come forwards, or you even use a model to bait your opponent to come forwards. And then once they're forwards, you charge, and you don't kill, and you just stay in that combat, because other than a select few teams, like Exaction can do it all the time,
yes.
Rattling can do it as a firefight ploy, Blooded can do it as a firefight ploy. Think that's it for shooting into combat. There's probably a few others that I'm not too clear on. There might be a few teams that I've not really played into, but other than that, you are perfectly safe at that point. And then you just you can combine that with Nemesis Claw's ability to charge, fight, kill, and then do another charge with Proclivity for Murder. You can combine it with Return to Darkness to fall out of a combat if you win initiative, and then charge straight into another combat that's potentially another 9 inches away, and then hold down the model that you've just been using as cover, and then you use another model to charge into that, to use that as another potential holding point. And it's all just about locking down your opponent. It's about giving your opponent 0 shots. In my last game of our tournament on Sunday was against Scouts, and I think he got 1 shot off all game.
Poor lad.
It's one of those. It's a very control style of play, and when it is popping off, I can see it over the table in people's faces where they're like, I don't know what to do.
That's what that brings me on to another question then. So I know, because we've talked about this in the past, but this is not the optimal. This is the optimal way to play them, but it's not the most popular way of playing these. So I know there's been discussion in the wider Claw community that to be a bit more shooty as a team. Obviously, as you're describing, you're not taking much shooting. Your main priority is getting into combat, hiding in the combat, fading out, charging. Getting into those extra charges. Have you tried the other way, and you just don't rate the missile launcher and the other weapons?
I've tried it, and to me, well, it's one of 2 things. One, there are a lot more teams in the game now, at least, that can break obscuring. Whether that's their snipers can break obscuring, whether they've got spotters that can break obscuring, whether they've just got faction rules that can break obscuring. So obscuring's not as powerful as it once was. And then a lot of teams that we really need to look out for don't really care about being outside of 6 inches, or they might have like a melter, for example, Brood or Inquisition or Aquilons will have melters, melter bombs, plasma guns, things like that they can just drop in, and they don't mind if that model drops in within 4 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches, whatever. And if it kills a Marine, then it's done its job. It doesn't matter if it dies or not, then it's done its job.
It's
so
a good trade, isn't it?
To me, the faction rule doesn't mean much. It's just a nice little bonus that might help me avoid being killed if I mess up my positioning in 20.1, maybe. Or it might keep me alive a little bit later on. It's always been easy to break. It's not a rule to be relied on.
No, makes sense.
And then the second point is it's more of a psychological perspective from me, which is if I have a model which has a bolt pistol and a chainsword, I'm going to try and go forward with that model. I'm going to try and move that model forward. Whether it actually gets into combat or not, I'm going to be using that model in an aggressive playstyle. If I have a model that has a heavy reposition weapon or has a big gun that ideally I'm going to want to bob out, shoot with it, and then bob back in. I'm going to play a bit more conservatively with that model.
Yeah.
And I find, for my own playstyle, that can come back to bite me in the end of the day because I'll end up with not having enough models where I need them to be. Whereas if I
Yeah.
take more aggressive models, they just naturally will move further up the board, which will give me more opportunities, and it's less mental load for me to worry about.
Yeah, no, that makes logical sense, though, doesn't it? That the model. I mean, what's your optimal loadout then in regards to the kit? Are you just taking? You're not taking any. You're not taking the grenade launcher at all. You're not taking any.
I try not to take the missile launcher where I can. I try not to take the heavy gunner at all where I
Yeah, yeah,
can. Every time I take the heavy gunner nowadays, it's more of an experiment, or it's more of a I don't really know what to do here, so I'm going to try it.
yeah, yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I feel like it's a mistake at the end of the battle. I will run the melter gunner into other elites because a
Yeah.
melter gun is just too strong not to run into other elites. Um, Occasionally, I'll take the plasma gun. Again, it's more of just an experiment, really, nowadays. But
Yeah,
my ideal loadout into any team will be the leader with the bolt pistol and the power weapon,
yeah,
which even that loadout itself is something that a lot of people tend not to take because they'll take the plasma pistol and they'll take the chainsword. I prefer the ability to double tap with a bolt pistol, and I think the power weapon is a much more reliable weapon in close combat, which is where ideally we want to be.
yeah.
You take the Skin Thief, you take the Screecher, you take the Ventriloquist, you take the Fearmonger, and then I will take a Warrior with a bolt pistol and a chainsword.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've played against you, and that's very loadout. What's the bit of tech you were talking about the other day? You've just recently learned some cool tech, haven't you, about the was it breaking guard?
Oh yeah,
Explain that. Explain that.
so I can't remember when the change came in. I know it was more of a nerf to the old Hyrotech playstyle of using I don't know what the teleport's called. You would put the death mark on guard, and then you would teleport the death mark into an advantageous position, and then the death mark's guard would go off and one shot somebody.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to be if that model moves at all, then the guard is broken. So what you use with the Ventriloquist is you can, because the Ventriloquist can use from conceal, the Ventriloquist can move up. He can command a model to move, in which case that model's guard is broken.
Yeah.
The new bit of tech that I discovered, which is something that I've never really considered before, is you can change the model's order from engage to conceal,
Yeah.
and unless they have a silent weapon profile, they can't shoot anymore.
Yeah.
So they can't guard.
Which is interesting because obviously on Into the Dark, one of the playstyles to get around you charging into combat is just go on guard all the time.
Yeah.
Which obviously works, but you being able to create yourself on an opening to take them off guard, so you can then get a charge in, is a big thing into it. Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good. You was also talking about one of the things I don't know if this is a playstyle very toxic because I think you've done it to me before. Is making a model dash within 3 of its mates and then terror chem grenading, whatever it's called.
Yeah. A lot of people don't see it coming. The dashing a model forwards. A lot of people think it's more just to move it into a position where I'm going to shoot it. I will try and use the Ventriloquist's dash to set up big blast grenades. Or move, and I use this again against the scout player in my last game on Sunday. He wasn't giving me any charges. He was playing quite conservative in turning point 2, but he moved someone up into a position where I could Ventriloquist them. So my Ventriloquist move dashed into heavy cover and then commanded his scout to then move forward 3 inches, which opened up a charge from my Skin Thief.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, that's, again, kind of game at that point.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. I do like listening to people's tech and how it works because, like, 9 out of 10 chances it's happened to me. I know we've played, and I think you moved one of my subductors playing Arbites, and I was like, God damn it, because you play securely, but it just completely bypasses that process. And as you say, it usually catches people off guard because you don't do it straight away, do you? A lot of people use the is it the Mimic Scream or whatever it's called? They use it early in the game, but I've seen you hold off until later on in the game and let people forget about it, which I think is also rather crafty, and watching people just like go, oh yeah, I forgot he had that. Oh no, you've charged me. So it's yeah, it is good. It is good. So moving on, obviously, Nem Club. Yeah, you are. Where are you in the world at the moment, Nem Club wise? Are you close to the top? Are you at the top?
I am the top
Oh, you
currently
are.
for for ITC ranking at the moment. I'm number one for this season.
Yeah, I know you're not big on broadcasting, are you? But you definitely
No.
are fantastic at playing at Nemclaw. I know a lot of people in the wider communities, Deadwood and Knots, obviously know you as the premium Nemclaw player. I guess we should move on to some of the tournaments. Talking of that and talking to other communities, because since obviously July we did the John Invitational, which was obviously my birthday thing. We did it at a hobby workshop. That was pretty good. I think we talked about that. And then moving on from there, I've had two, and you've had three tournaments.
I've had four actually.
Wow.
Because me and Deck had the Deadwood event the day after the John
You
Invitational.
did, yes, you did. And just for anyone listening, Tom has got an addiction with going to events. So
Yeah.
you've been to quite a lot. We should add up how many events you've been to this year, just for the giggles. Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't know off the top of my head, no. But yeah, it's being single and having disposable income.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I guess I mean I haven't got any stats up for it, but how did the Deadwood tournament go the day after mine? I think it was called on 20th of July.
So I'm trying to remember my placing. I came fifth.
Fifth. Yeah,
I came fifth, just behind Harrison, who beat me in the third round with his Raveners.
yeah.
Which
Shout out to
is
Harrison.
annoying. Which is shout out to Harrison, which is annoying because he's 3-0 into me, I believe now, but I will get him eventually.
Yeah.
But no, it was a very fun tournament. Big 4-rounder, 32 players. If memory serves, John Reese came first with his Brood Brothers. Adam, shout out to Adam Hartman from Scarborough.
Yep. Yep.
Came second with his Battleclade. And hang on, let me look it up. I know it was one of the A&M boys. Ryan from A&M with Sanctifiers came in third.
All good teams. All good teams. And I think as well, this is the week of release of Raveners, or the week after Raveners, so they were filled fairly new at this point. I'm assuming.
Yeah, this would have been the week. No, this would have been 2 weeks after because this was the week after Leeds GT, which was the week after their release. So they'd been out for a little bit by that point, but they'd not really been. I mean, I think there's still people trying to get to grips with them now. I haven't played anywhere near as many games into Raveners as I would have liked to at this point.
Do you rate them from the games you've played? 'Cause I know there's a mixed opinion of the community of them, if they're good or not so good.
I think if you play Raveners like I played Nemesis Claw, you'll do quite well with them. I think if you play Raveners like, oh, I'm a big 20 wound model, big monster, let me come forwards and smash, you'll just die.
Yeah.
So I've to Harrison, who played Implant Raveners very similar to how I played Nemesis Claw.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, I've played. Who did I play? Played them twice. Mike Sherwood at Knots, who was a really good player, and then who else? I think I played one of. I think it was Chris from our club. Both times, I found them. Like you say, if you're going to give me a shot, I'm going to take it, and if you are going to get a shot, you're going to get quite a hefty amount of damage put through. So, and then just chipping away, I think is usually the way of getting around Raveners, and just kind of give them the old, kind of leaving them to one side. And I don't think there's enough models sometimes. I feel if you just play crit up and kind of not ignore them, but don't invest all your energy into them, then I feel like you start to steamroll the crit up. And even the tack up in some cases, because they just ain't got enough models to get across the board, so they can't contest every point. And if they do, they're on their own. and if they're on their own, it's fairly easy to chip them down. With you being such a low model count, like my exaction squad at 11 operatives means I've got plenty of activations out of sequence that I can just, here's a crack grenade, here's another crack grenade, here's a Weber, here's a grenade launcher, here's a shotgun, blah blah blah, and just really just chipping away. And especially the one model, you only need to kill one of them per turn, and as soon as they start losing models, they start to crumble a little bit. So obviously you played them and the Deadwood event. Who won that? Sorry, who was the top of that standing?
John Reese won that with his
Brew.
brother.
Yeah. Which another interesting team as well at the moment. Magos needs a nerf by the sound of it. Okay, cool. Deadwood's always a good event as well, isn't it? That's the thing with Deadwood. And I know we've got an event this weekend as well when we're going up to see the guys up at Deadwood. So we move on from that, and then we go into Assault in August, I believe, is the next one.
Yes, I believe that was our next event. Yeah, that was the 2nd of August. Yeah.
So this is the South Yorkshire Kill Team one. It was run at the Outpost. It was 30 man, I believe that it was, which is good. You had, where were you in this one? Were you 7th?
Yes, I lost my second game to Adam Hartman on his Battleclade, so I don't think I placed particularly well. Yes, I was 7th. Yeah, just behind Mike from Deadwood.
Yeah. Which I thought was because this is I was helping out in TO in this one, and we had a latecomer. So I sat down ready to take the spot against Adam with my exaction squad, and he really didn't want to play exaction. So it was interesting to see that obviously with you, because looking at your scoring, you didn't exactly do bad. You had a middle game that you lost. Do you remember who you lost to? Was it just Adam?
Yes. Yeah, it was just Adam. It was. So, well, obviously you can't really talk about it because it's. I think I lost the game because I didn't score implant in turning point 2. Because me and Adam have played before now. This was our third game playing, I believe it was. Yeah. So he knows how I play. So he knew just to hang back in turning point 2, which denied me the ability to implant. I had one, I think it was just one shot onto him in which I could have implanted. And I chose not to, which was probably a mistake. I chose not to because of the Battleclade Firefight ploy, where they can remove implant, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I think I overvalued that, and I think I should have just gone for the implant anyway. If I had done then, even if he got rid of it afterwards, we would have ended up tying, because I would have scored another 2 on the... I would have scored another 1 on the tack and then another 1 for my primary. So that would have tied us up 15-15, which...
It's interesting. It's interesting because Adam's obviously playing Battleclade. That's obviously the alternative team that came out with the Raveners. And I find that team was less popular. And other than Adam, I've not seen many people get the grip to them. Like, not many people are on, playing that. They don't seem to be as... popular. They seem to be harder to play. Do you rate them as a team?
Yes. If like Adam, you can get to grips with them.
Yeah.
I think they're a very... If you don't play them in a very particular way, they're quite punishing.
Yeah.
And you will just get rolled over. Whereas Raveners can get carried by I'm a big 20 wound model that heals every activation or counteraction or whatever it is their equipment does.
Yeah.
Whereas Battleclade don't have that.
Yeah. No. I've the little time I've played against them, the more of understanding how they work and the mechanics of them is a bit fiddly. So I know some people are just not gelling with them. So it's nice to see. And Adam, by the way, as you know this, entered the Leeds GT for his first tournament, I believe. Was it the Leeds GT? Or he entered a tournament?
Yes, it was Leeds GT. It was his first tournament.
Entered his first tournament, won it, And yeah, he's been flying high ever since. You know, he's a really good member of the community, and he's only been doing it for X amount of time in the event scene, which is really good. But going through the list of stuff, we've got Joe Mullen, who won with his Felga Ravagers. Sorry. You've got Ryan Worthington on Vespid, which are another problem. I don't know how many times you played Vespid now.
An unfortunate amount.
They are quite silly at the moment. Obviously, Adam Artman playing Battleclade, and then we had Mikkel, my fellow Execution Squad player, and Mr. Slater finished 5th with Void Troop, and then Michael Smith plays a Kane, Nemesis Claw with yourself. That's kind of like the top 7 and stuff. I'm just looking down. I think Declan. Funny story about that event was the very last match between Monty Deck. Shout out to Monty the Maker. Go and watch his stuff. He was doing really well. Watching his matches. His matches are just so on it, so entertaining to watch. And we are definitely going to get him on either on the podcast or we'll get him doing some battle reports. But his last match was against Ryan on Beta Decima, with Vespid versus his brood, and I went over about halfway through, and Monty's just melted. There's just nothing you can do on the best of days. But yeah, he took quite a pacing, which is a real shame because, as I say, I think Dex played Ryan twice now, and both times Ryan's got the better of him. But he's still getting good in good sport, which is really good. But it's just really interesting how the effect Beta Decima has on some teams. I know people don't like Beta Decima. I know you're not a massive fan of it either.
No.
But it is interesting how some teams on that map go from being really good to absolutely bat crackers. It's just nuts how well Vespid do. I think we were trying the new maps out as well, weren't we? We were trying out some different maps for them and trying to make that map set work. I don't think it does. I think it's difficult. I think it's just difficult. So that was obviously Assault in August. It was quite a good event. Joe, I think I did see one of the matches, which was Joe versus Ryan. So that's Ravagers versus Void Troop, which was really interesting. I never really got into how that worked out. But yeah. I still can't. There'll be a problem, Ravagers. I think eventually, just they're going back up the meta again, aren't they? Just because of the not being able to be killed and all that jazz. So it'll be interesting.
As the elite meta starts to tail off,
yeah,
teams that were being gatekept by elites, such as Ravagers, who are obviously susceptible to double shoot, double fight, or Goremongers, who are susceptible to the same. We'll see them creeping back into the meta.
Yeah.
So, yeah, which is it's good. It's good for the game, seeing a varied amount of teams.
Yeah.
In all the events. And I will say, from all the events that I've been to, I don't think I've been to a single event out of all the last 4 where the top 3 had any duplicate teams in them.
Yes, that is a really good thing as well. Yeah, there's no, especially in this one, there's no Sanctifiers. Do we have a Sanctifiers player? Don't think we did. Oh, we did.
Yeah, we had one. I'm sure we had one Sanctifiers player. Yeah.
Yeah, Dylan. So, but then, yeah, it's almost like the community's just decided, yeah, bugger it, I'm not even going to touch them.
Well, yeah, we talk about Battleclade having a relatively high mental load. Sanctifiers have an insane mental load if you want to try and play them at a high tournament level. Just one model on their team gives. I don't know how you can play that and have to bear in mind, oh, this is where I'm going to move originally, and then when I do this next move, this is where everybody else is going to move to.
Yeah.
There's so many moving parts on that team. So many auras that you have to keep track of. So much measuring that you've got to do to make sure everything is where it needs to be. It's not a team for a simple elite player like myself.
Yeah. Definitely not for a beginner player either, because they are difficult to play. But yeah, South Yorkshire Kill Team Assault in August was good from our perspective. We got really good feedback for the event as well, so that's really good. So yeah, and well done to Joe as well from ANM. I think it's the first time I've met Joe. He's really nice. So it's nice that people coming travelling over and managing to win these type of tournaments because again I've not seen Felgor for such a long time. It was really nice to see them, which is really good. I say that now. Give me a couple of months, I'm fucking sick of seeing them, which will be interesting. And then, okay, so moving on from that, we had the Kill Team Strategic Operations. The Thursday, did you do any more before then, or was that straight into the Warhammer World?
No, it was Assault in August, straight into the Warhammer World tournament, the midweek Thursday tournament.
Yeah, so this was a midweek Thursday, something as you say. I've never done one of these. I was talked into it by yourself and a few others that these are a little bit special, these type of events, because obviously it's at the home of Warhammer at the Warhammer World. I want to say studio. It's not a studio, is it? Whatever it is, Warhammer World. And it was really nice to go around there and go around there. I think I've been around there twice now. So just going, I think, adds a bit of prestige to it. But a really good event generally. I think one of the reasons we all went from our lot was to try and experience playing different people, and playing different teams, different people, different communities. Really kind of getting to know people. But this one had 28 people in it, so it was quite a steady showing. So won't go down the top of the list. We had Ryan Slater, Warp Coven, which Warp Coven are fantastic. Well, they phase out soon as well, don't they? So it'll be interesting to see if how long Ryan stays on them for before he probably jumps onto the new Space Marine stuff, the Death Watch, which will be interesting to see if he's going to try them. And then we've got Black Dragon, Adam Ryder. I played Adam in my first game. Playing Vespid Stingwings again, which is always interesting to play. I'll talk about that in a second. Third was yourself with your Claw, and then I finished fourth, the Exaction, and then Jonathan Sully from Knots, Farstalker King Band, followed by Ryan on sixth, and then there's a bunch of other people. But we did. What were yours? You was undefeated on yours, I believe.
Yeah, that was. I went 3-0.
How did your matches go? Did you come across any teams you never played before? Did you anything?
So my first game was into Adam Calver from Lincoln.
Yep.
And he was on Aquilons. I've played quite a bit of Aquilons at this point. I know very much how to play into Aquilons. I don't want to say they're not a challenging team to play around, because they can be. But I feel like unless you've played into my style of play before, where I'm just going to sit there waiting for you to do something, and then I'm going to pounce on you, and then it's kind of over at that point as soon as you let me in. Unless you played into that sort of play before, you're not going to know what to expect. Because people would expect, a Nemesis Claw team to have a heavy gunner or a gunner, and you'd be setting yourself up for shots and things like that, and that's very much not how I play.
And you give them targets to drop on and to do damage. I'm assuming if you're lying in wait and waiting for them to drop to get into melee like you do, I think it messes up their game plan as well. I think it puts them in an awkward scenario where, who do I shoot? I've got to drop turning point 2, but who do I shoot? And then they can't, and then they drop anyway because they've got to, and then, as you say, they're opened up then, and then in which case you're just killing 8 wound models. Which is interesting. My first game was against Adam Ryder through Vespid. Adam was fantastic. We nearly didn't finish, but Adam was great. We talked and we laughed and joked, and it was really nice to have a nice laid back kind of fun environment at the very start. I did come across my ye old little problem of some communities I feel are very much on point with rules, where we might be a little bit more kind of, sure, you can have that, so it was an interesting match versus my Exaction squad. I think I burnt out during the match. I think most of the way through the match I got to the point where I was like, I'm kind of not feeling this, and I kind of threw it away a little bit. But it was interesting because, again, there was one point in it, and I think Killop did it, which was interesting again because I think I maxed mostly on crit and tack, which did well. It was just a kill up that kind of swung it. First time I'd played properly against Vespid Stinglings as well. So no qualms for me. I felt like it was a good match and been able to get some sort of kind of momentum, even though it wasn't massive positive momentum losing your first game. And then you're going to obviously your second game. So we had lunch. Obviously we had Bugman's, which is really good. I enjoyed the food, and then we obviously went straight into the second game. How did you get on your second game?
So my second game was into John Solly from Knots on his Farstalker Kinband on his crew.
Yeah, Farstalker.
Played John before. Yes, they are very much an underestimated team. I think, again, very similar to Felgor and very similar to Goremongers. They're going to be a team that we see a lot more of as the elite meta starts to dissipate, because they generally quite struggle into elites. And yeah, as elites go away, they'll be able to come out more and more. Very close game overall between me and John. John has seen how I play before, so he knew what to expect. So he took implant into me as well. So it was basically us just trying to out-implant each other. So I believe there was ultimately 1 point in it, which came down to the kill-up.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah. And it's a win for South Yorkshire Kill Team versus Knights. So, well done for that. Which is good. What map were you playing on that one? What was it? I can't remember what you was on. Second.
Into the Dark. I forget which exact map number it was. It was very. I don't know if Into the Dark is a bad map set for crew. I don't feel like it is. But it's definitely a map set that benefits Nemesis Claw.
Yes, I would agree. And then, of course, my second match against another NOTS member in Mike Sherwood. Mike were playing Raveners. I were Exaction. Interesting match, really. As again, it's the second time I played them. And I think I was quite smart with this. People don't like subductors and shields. So I kind of guessed that Mike was going to play Storm Objectives. So I kind of just camping out in a room with a bunch of shield guys, letting him pop up, and then going, well, I'm going to fight first. I'm going to parry twice. Then I'm going to shoot you. And whilst all this is happening, and it's taking a lot to remove these entrenched shield guys on the other side of the board, the Leash Master and Cyber Mastiff, or Dog and Dogman as it's called in our community, were running up and doing the tack ops and doing the crit ops. I don't feel like Mike deserved that loss. I don't look at the numbers of it, because I don't think he deserved that. I think Mike's a fantastic player. I think Raveners, he plays Raveners really well. I just think it was a heavy matchup for strong. It was really strong, more favoured for me. Couldn't shoot me, couldn't really do much. By the time he made it to where he wanted to be, he was locked down with stuff. But love Mike. It was just I think on that situation I came out the victor on it, which is, again, I don't think it's a reflection on Mike. I think it's more of just an unfortunate map choice with Into the Dark and team choices as well. I think any other matchup he probably would have done better, which is good. And then obviously your final match. What was your final match with?
My final match was into Tom Catchsides from London.
Yep, shout out to Tom. Tom.
Great player. Have played him before. We played the same matchup, Phobos versus Nemesis Claw, at the Turning Point Tactics.
He beat me at Turning Point Tactics with Phobos, fucking Phobos.
Yeah, we were. That was our second day in the top cut, and we got to a draw on that one. And I managed to get a 1 point win, I believe it was. Let me just double check that. It may have been 2, but I feel like it was I think it was too close to be a 2 point win.
Yeah.
Yes, just a single point in it between us.
Yeah.
Which ultimately I think maybe came down to the Phobos nerfs. With he did the classic Reaver free mission actions through a door, repositions, and double taps with their piercing heavy bolt pistol, whatever it's called,
Yep. Piercing crit
into my
stuff, isn't it?
ventriloquar.
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't get those balanced rerolls meant that my ventriloquar managed to survive.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
which case, there's a Reaver stood on my half of the board, basically as a free target at that point, and that allowed me to trade quite effectively early, which just set it open up for a pretty steady game. I think Tom played quite well. He used the mine layer, the Phobos mine layer, which is the first time I believe I've ever seen it, but it worked quite effectively to lock down one of the rooms. I think basically all of our fighting happened in the middle area of the Into the Dark.
Yep.
And yeah, just a very close game, which again, Tom's a very good player. Phobos are a very hard team for Nemesis Claw to play into.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the what the crit op was for that last game.
It wasn't
Because I think that's why we had such a low scoring game, because I don't think either of us really played the crit op all that much.
Was it? I can't remember myself what it was. What did we play? Coordinates?
It might have been coordinates. It might have been. No, it wasn't. It wasn't coordinates. It might have been. I don't think it was upload. What's the other one? Is it Intel?
It's the one where you tap the point and stay on it at the end.
Transmission. That was it. Yes, that was it. Yeah. Transmission. Yeah. Yeah, because basically neither of us scored anything off the middle objective because it was just a consistent bloodbath in the middle.
Yeah.
Just consistent trades. So we basically just tapped our home objective, which, yeah, that's why it was such a low scoring game. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So I obviously moved into the same match. I played. I want to say Rob. Was it Rob that I played? Rob Marsh. Yeah. So Rob was playing Scouts. I did the old switcheroony, as I like to call it, which is basically you can have that point over there. I'm keeping these two. I'm going to play Storm Objectives, and I'm going to play these 2 points. So if you want to bring those 2 or 3 models that you've prepared on that far side, you are going to have to come to me, and I want you to come to me. I want you to come and talk to my subductors before you enter the building. And there was one room where the Storm Objective point was on Rob's side. And that was a bit crackers because we just couldn't. I couldn't burst into the door. He had the missile launcher ready, so I think he got a blast off and killed 3 of my guys. Which at that point I was like, yeah, I'm pretty much caked here. There's not much I can do. But I managed to pull it around because I think I managed to get a subductor on that point, and the subductor was just doing work. The Nuncio Quiller came in clutch as well, just minusing APL and stuff when it comes to counting on the point, which did really well. So yeah, but Rob was fantastic. There was a bit of a laugh and a bit of banter. He did say he listened to the Tea Time podcast. So hello, Rob, if you are listening. I think we were done in time as well. Again, another match where I kind of felt like it could have gone either way from being brutal. I think this Rob were playing plant beacons, or plant bacon as I call it. So they had this entire room where they were just planting, obviously, beacons and stuff. Kind of just sacrificed the tack up to score on crit. And yeah, so it was very interesting to play Scouts. I know a few people have got Scouts, and I know they're not the most strongest team at the moment. But I think they're another one. As the elite meta starts to die off, they don't need much to be back in the frame again.
I quite like Scouts as a team. I think
they're.
I like them quite a bit. I think they're surprisingly killy. They've got good ranged output. They can have good melee output. They've got some very good strat ploys, and I like all of their nonsense options that they're all their special scouting options that they get. Their 6 special scouting options they get. I think they're very good.
Yeah, they're good, and especially when in a really good on a really good player like Rob is. It was a real interesting matchup because, again, they know what they're doing. You know, people who are playing at this point they know how to play the game, and it becomes quite heavy to try and like afterwards, I always come away from some of these games and like I just need 5 minutes just to decompress, just because my brain's racing with all these different parts. Like the hunter in scouts is always the interest, because if they're charging or jumping over barricades and one of the lethal four, and so yeah, it was really interesting. And I think what really did Rob was again the subductors fighting first. So just getting those subductors in place and letting Rob come to me changed a lot of stuff, and I like roadblocks, which is interesting. But all in all, I think the event went well. I mean, if we go through the list again, it's obviously Ryan, Adam, you obviously inferred me fourth, and then Jonathan Sully. And then, yeah, so there was quite a few from our South Yorkshire Kill Team crowd as well. So they had a bunch of us there. There was someone. Was any guys from Deadwood? I don't think there were many from Deadwood. There were quite a few from Notts. I remember seeing. Lincoln as well.
Yeah, it was. I don't believe there was anyone from Deadwood. It seemed to be predominantly us, Knots, and then the Black Dragons from Hinckley.
Yeah, which is great, which is great. So yeah, so that was obviously strategic operations on the Thursday, and then this Saturday just gone was the Lincoln event, I believe, which is the 10th of August. So this is the Invitational in Lincoln with Simon and crew. This was Mike Sherwood had won with Hiratech. You came second on this one, which was really good. Ryan with his Warp Coven, Christopher Dunleavy from CBKT with his Angels of Death, Mark Burton from Norwich with Wrecker Crew. Wow. So yeah, so Mike with Hiratech. I'm assuming that Mike didn't have much. Did you have much chance to talk to Mike? Any reason why he chose Hiratech?
We spoke a little bit. Well, we didn't really speak much throughout the day. Quite a busy day, actually. We spoke a little bit towards the end, just before we were starting our third rounds, and I think it's mainly because of what you did to him on Thursday, with his poor Ravenous.
Yeah.
But I think I know Mike's been. I think I've played Mike twice now, and I believe the first time was on Felgor, the second time was on Hand of the Archon. Then I know he was at Warhammer World with Raveners, so I think he's trying to find a team to settle back in, and I think Hiratech seems to be it, which is great. Hiratech are a good team. I would argue that they're a great team. Though we're probably going to see their win rate drop. Not hugely, but probably drop a little bit. Maybe into the more like 55 to 50 area instead of like the 60 to 55 area. Simply because they do very well into elites, and elites will start to drop off a bit more.
Less elites around, a bit more. Yeah, because activating them is a big thing. Obviously, you can just. I mean, they come back, and I think the broken part about Hiratech, other than the other broken parts, is the denying kill up. I think that's a massive swing, because you can just be gun ho with a lot of your models. I think throwing them forward, because you it's one less thing you need to think about and as such. And then obviously the teleporting shenanigans, the blast shenanigans. As an execution squad player, I don't know how I play that match. I genuinely don't know how I can stop them. They will be in my back line faster than God knows what. Blast. There's not enough terrain to hide behind in the first turning point. So I worry. I worry when I ever come against the Hiratech. So you obviously you finished second on this, which is good. Your first game, who did you play? How did you get on?
So my first game was into Adam Calvert again from Lincoln. We had a rematch from Thursday. And he played a lot better into me this time. He knew what to expect. So he took confirmed kill instead of beacons, which worked quite well for him. And yeah, we were playing on a bit more of a closed-off Volkers board, so I think that worked against him a little bit, because his drop beacons, he couldn't really open enough doors to get his drop beacons to work as effectively as he probably wanted them to.
Yeah.
But it was a much closer game from my perspective. I think I started to get worried when he managed to fall back from one of my operatives. My chain snares didn't work for once.
Wow.
Which is always scary when that happens. Because then that's basically just a dead Nemesis Claw, and it's like, oh, I was kind of relying on that guy to lock down a flank, and now he really can't.
Yeah, now he's just in the open. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a nice game, steady game, great game against Adam, and as with our game on Thursday, I think we were done in about an hour. It's very Nemesis Claw versus Aquilons, or is very much Turning Point 1 is done in 2 minutes. It's just I move, I pass, I move, I pass, I move, I pass. And then Turning Point 2 is very similar up until things start going. And then it's it's quite quick.
They start dropping and you start killing. Yeah. Cool. Second match, 16.
My second match was into Kat from our club. Kat on her Plague Marines.
Shout out to Kat.
Yep, great player.
Lovely looking painted models as well.
Yes. Probably the I'm not going to say probably. It was definitely the closest game I played all day. We were on, I forget which. I think it's Volcus 4, which is the Volcus map where both strongholds straddle the center line.
Yeah. Take ground special, yeah.
Take ground special. So I knew exactly what Kat was going to take. I knew she was likely going to score max on it because...
How do you stop it?
I don't think any team can reliably clear a bunch of entrenched Plague Marines out of a stronghold. I think any team would struggle to do that, and Nemesis Claw certainly would, because we can't ignore being injured. We don't have the operatives to do it. So it was more just play for the crit op. We were playing Sabotage. So between using my Ventriloquar to dash her, I believe it was her warrior, off of her home objective, Turning Point 2, which meant she didn't score anything from her home objective, Turning Point 2. Then using my Fearmonger, who had my last activation gun up on the Vantage and dropped a Terrachem grenade down into the stronghold and blasted onto, I believe it was the Warrior, the Plaguecaster, and the Icon Bearer. Didn't roll as well as I would have liked with my lethal 5s and devastating 3 on that, but what are you going to do?
Yep.
But my first activation was using that Fearmonger to go and tap her home objective, which again meant she couldn't score anything realistically on crit up, because the middle objective was also being locked down by my Melter, which, when... I think Plague Marines have a tough time into Nemesis Claw from a winning perspective, I suppose, because we can always make it so we take last activation. And if you've got a Melter sitting in a position where it can cover 2 points, it's like, well, you come and try and take that point off of me, but my last activation is going to be throw a Melter gun in your face, and Plague Marine or not, you're probably not going to live through that.
Yeah, you're going to do enough damage to really make them think twice about pushing forward with that model, at least. I mean, they can heal up, of course, but it's more resources they have to spend, don't they, to kind of counter it. So yeah, and Kat's great as well. Obviously, Kat's from our club. Kat is becoming a journey from when she first joined. I remember when she joined the first hobby workshop event we did, and kind of bumbled through it, which was great. And now she's obviously found Plague Marines, and she's getting really good at them. She is really good at getting better with this, and it's really nice as well to have members of the community doing really well and placing. I don't know where she placed. Let me just quickly check. Did she place fairly well? I think. Where was she? I can't find her, but I think she did fairly well at this tournament. She does well at most tournaments. To be fair, 19th. Out of 32, so pushing top half, which is great. So yeah, well done to Kat. Shout out to Kat. Yeah, yep. Good stuff. Third match. How do you get in your third match?
So my third match was against Chris Cole, I believe is his last name. I'll just double check that. From Norwich.
Yep.
And he was on Chris his Cole, Scouts.
Yep.
Which is, again, like I've just said, I really enjoy Scouts. I think they're a great team. And he played them quite well. I just don't think he was expecting. I don't think he was expecting the way that I did Nemesis Claw.
Yeah.
So we were on Volcus map 3, which is the one with the center objective that has one of the ruins on it, one of the lighter ruins on it, and then you've got the super vantage on one side and the smaller stronghold on the other side. So I was coming in from the super vantage stronghold side, which I think is my much better side for Nemesis Claw because it allows me to stage. And the main thing I think that helped me was again taking the warrior. Because what that allowed me to do is use it as a sacrificial piece. So Chris had used the scout. I believe it's called a booby trap. I think the scout mine, which is similar to the rattling mine, in that it doesn't just do damage; it stops the action that you were doing as well, and then it also takes away one of your AP.
Yep.
So what I ended up having to do was first activation of Turning Point 2 was dash my warrior through a door straight into the mine, trigger the mine. I think he took 5 damage straight off the bat, and then he's -1 APL for the next for this turn and then the next turn as well. So then I just repositioned him straight back through the door to safety. Which was then followed up by my next activation being my Screecher, who was stood right next to the warrior, charging through the door and getting off believe it was a kill straight into a proclivity for murder charge onto another fight.
Yeah.
And then again, once you're in at that point, you're in. Then it was my Ventriloquar opening up another charge into his home objective with my Skin Thief. And like I say, I think I played it quite well. I think Chris did the best that he could do with what I was giving him. He took Confirm Kill as his tac op, which is a great tac op to take into Nemesis Claw if you've got the damage to put through in melee, which scouts can do decent damage in melee, but there's still only 3 attacks most of the time, which means that I can reliably parry it out and not have to take that much damage back. So that's how that game went overall. I don't think Chris was really prepared for the chain snares, implant combo. I don't think. And again, if you haven't seen it before, you're not going to be prepared.
She's going to catch you. I believe Linford was there, wasn't he? From Norwich.
Yes, Linford was there. He got best sportsman, I believe, because Linford's great.
Shout out to Linford from Norwich Kill Team and all them guys over at Norwich. I know some of our lot have been over. I've not been over as of yet, but we will find time to go over to Notts. There's transitioning obviously from these events. We'll talk about upcoming events as well. But Norwich and the Liverpool crowd, Liverpool and Worrell, is it? They're 2 places that I kind of want to get on the radar for at some point where we go and visit. Obviously, travelling wise, I don't know how far Norwich is, but it's not a 2-minute ride, is it? So it's definitely a commitment that we have to try and look to stay over. That's what I've always wanted to do, is go and stay over and have a couple of drinks and whatnot with the guys, which is cool. But moving on to other events, obviously we now move on to the upcoming stuff that we've got going off. Me and you are at Deadwood this weekend.
Yes.
So that's going to be fun. That's the invitational, the thing, which will be good. This is a bit of a fun event though, so I think we're taking not your main team. What are you taking? Do you know what you're taking yet? What team?
I believe I'm taking my Legionaries, and I'm going to just run them all corn.
yeah.
No, well, yeah. I'm just going to run them all corn, and I'm
Yeah.
just going to just charge across the board and see how many kills I can get, basically.
It was so funny because in the
Uh,
in the WhatsApp they were saying you couldn't get any more closer to Nemesis Claw than, than
again,
Legionaries. Yeah, funny.
I said it in the group thread. I don't think I know how to win now with a team that doesn't have chain snares.
Yeah,
And can't take a pin
yeah.
plan. So
It's going to be interesting to watch that happen. I think
yeah,
I'm taking Wrecker Crew, which yeah, no surprises.
yeah,
Which sounds good.
no, that'll be fun. I think I would imagine there'll be a few Wrecker Crew.
Yeah, if it's fun, I think they're one of the funnest teams to play, aren't they? And then obviously that goes into September. Do you have any other events in September?
I've got another event in August. August has been a very busy month for
Oh
me.
yeah, what you got in August?
The 23rd and the 24th.
Oh yes.
Me and Jack are at the Warhammer World narrative for
Oh,
two
you
days.
are the narrative. Yeah, yeah. That's going to be interesting to see. Um, yeah, it'd be interesting to see you in a different setting as well, because obviously that's not meant to be as competitive. But I don't know.
No, that's why I'm not taking my Nemesis Claw. I'll
Yeah,
probably, if I enjoy my Legionaries this weekend, it will probably be my Legionaries at the narrative, just to give them a solid run out before they go away. Before they get taken out of classified,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. They start drift away a bit, don't they?
Yeah. So I'll hopefully have some fun with my Legionaries.
Yeah, yeah, cool. And then obviously we move then into the South Yorkshire Kill Team teams event. Our first teams event. It's going to be a hobby workshop. I think we've got 6 teams signed up out of 12, which is good. So that's going to be interesting. Have you got a team yet? Are you in?
We are still deciding on our third.
Yeah, you and
We've
Ryan,
had
isn't
a
it?
couple. Yes, it's me and
Yeah,
Ryan, and then we've had a couple of people approach us about being our third. Again, it was, I believe, supposed to be quite a chilled out tournament, and then
yeah,
certain teams have rocked up that seem to be rolling quite heavy.
yeah,
So me and Ryan want to give them a decent showing. So
yeah.
we are
Ready to rumble.
we will hopefully have our team sorted by I'm hoping by the end of the week.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. We've got a bunch of communities coming up as well. We've definitely got obviously Deadwood. I know we've been speaking to the Knots guys, and I'm going to get some of them as well. So if anyone is interested in coming into experience a teams event up with us lot, we've got quite a good representation, as I say, across the board, which is really good. And then yes, we do the teams event. That's on the 6th of September. You got much else in September? Do you have a lot on? Is that your quieter month? I don't even know what a quieter month is to you. Is that only 4 events?
Uh, so far in September, we've got our team. They've got our team event, which we've spoken about.
Yep.
There is a Deadwood event, the Great Timber Hunt, which
Yep.
is on September the 14th, I believe. So the weekend after our team's event, the Sunday after.
Yep.
Which I'll be going over for that. That'll be fun. That's a nice 4-rounder. And then I have just bought my ticket for the London Grand Tournament,
Oh yes.
which is
When's that?
at
When's that, mate?
that's at the end of September. That is the 27th and the 28th of September.
Nice. That's gonna be great. That the last GT of the tournament of the season. Is it GT?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah. Awesome.
that's the last UKTC of this season, I believe.
Yeah. No, it's good. That's good. Yeah, well, that's basically most of it. I am going to try and get some more podcast time in at some point. I know people that are listening, you're probably thinking, I've not heard anything from you for over a month. But we have been really busy with the events. And, it's always a balance between trying to make content and also playing in events. So we are trying to get stuff on. We are trying to get some more battle reports out. I know people have been asking about that. So I don't know what the next battle report is. I think we're going to get Mr. Pedantic and Mr. Longfinger, Ryan. I think I want to get you two to play though. I think we keep on saying we're going to get you two to play on stream. But I
Well,
don't
yeah,
think
we've done that. We recorded one,
yeah,
and it got lost
you got
on
lost in it.
Deck's hard drive.
Yeah, I remember.
Uh,
But now at the moment, you're not that interested in playing Vespid, are you? Because
no,
Joe.
no, no. Now I don't want to play Vespid. When I was playing Salvagers, I can deal with that. Vespid, I can't deal with.
Yeah. So we'll try and get some more battle reports going, and we are starting to move home and doing a little bit more stuff over at Hobby Workshop. We're quite lucky to have both, the Outpost and Hobby Workshop to support us when we're doing some of this. So we're going to try and get more time to play and maybe do some more over at Hobby Workshop, get some recordings in. So keep peeled for that. That's definitely coming up. We'll probably have another some special guests coming up as well on podcasts. We'll try and get a few more people from the wider community. So if there is people out there, especially you guys in London, we'd love to get some of you guys on the podcast. So feel free to leave comments and get in contact if you're interested in coming to chat, and it'll be really interesting to see other people's perspectives and see how the meta changes from region to region. But cool. Thank you very much for coming on, Tom. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. See you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.